Testing. All right. 110th Congress, First Session, House of Representatives, docket 11049. How our laws are made. Revised, updated. John V. Sullivan, Parliamentation, U.S. House of Representatives, July 24th, 2007. Page 21, Part 2. Where each hearing of the committee, subcommittee, except for the committee on the standard of official conduct, is required to be open for the public, except for the committee or the subcommittee, with the open for the session with a major percent, which is determined by record or vote. Other matter whether to consider whether it would be in danger of the national security, would compromise sensitive law enforcement information, or would violate law or rule of the House. The committee with the subcommittee may make same procedure vote to close one of the subsequent up to 5 with additional consecutive day hearings when the quorum of the taking of the testimony presents of the majority of the members present may close the hearing, discuss with the evidence of the testimony they received with the word in danger of the committee with the open session with the quorum present with determined by the record vote testimony with be taken on the hearing of that day with it may be to relay with the matter of the national security. Committee may be by the same procedure closed one subsequent day with a hearing on the day set with a public hearing with the committee subcommittee official reporter will present with a record of testimony brief with an introductory statement by the chairman, often by with the ranking minority member or with the other committee member with the first witness call with the cabinet officer for the high ranking government of official as well with the interested private individuals testified under the voluntary by subpoena so far as practical. The committee required that the witness who would appear with the file with a written statement of the proposed testimony, evidence of the appearance of the limited there with a oral presentation, brief summary thereof. Cases of the witness appearing with a non-governmental capacity with a written statement of the proposed testimony shall include with the curriculum vitae and disclose with the certain federal grants and contracts. And upon request of the majority over the minority party members of the committee within itself with the call of the witness and only with the testimony the measure during at least one additional day of the hearing. Each member of the committee provided 5 minutes for the interrogation of each of the witnesses until the member of the committee desired with the question the witness he had an opportunity to do so. With addition of the committee may adopt the rule of the motion permit committee members to question with a witness specified period no more than 1 hour. With the committee staff may also be permitted with a question witness for a specified period of no longer than 1 testimony taken when the public hearing is made available to the inspection office for the clerk of the committee with a frequently complete transcript is depending with it distributed broadly by the committee. Markup after hearings are complete with the subcommittee usually with a consider of the bill session with a properly known as markup session with a view of the both side with the say with the detail with the conclusion. Deliberation of vote is taken with the determination of the action subcommittee with a decided report of the bill favorably to the full committee with or without amendment or unfavorably or without recommendation. Subcommittee may also suggest the committee table to postpone action indefinitely. Each member of the subcommittee, regardless of the party affiliation, has 1 vote. Proxy voting is no longer permitted within the House committee. With the final committee action, full committee meetings reporting on bills may be made with the subcommittee of bills read with the amendment within the committee section of the end members of the remain amendments for the committee of the amendments or only proposal change of the bill that is introduced are subject to the action acceptance of the rejection by the House itself of the vote with the committee members take with the determine where the full committee will report the bill favorably, adversely, and without recommendation. With the committee votes report the bill favorably to the House, it may report the bill with or without amendmentation. Committee have approved the extensive amendments. Committee may decide with the report the original bill with 1 amendment into the nature of the substantive of the consisting with the amendments previously adopted to introduce the report the new bill incorporating those amendments commonly known as the clean bill. A new bill is introduced usually known by the chairman of the committee after the referral back to the committee of the report is favorably House of the committee with the committee to make a table of the bill and fail to take action on it, therefore preventing it in its House of the report to the House. They make adverse reports and reports of the recommendation of the House by the committee unusual of the House have the ability to discharge of the bill from the committee with the discussion motion of the discharge part 10. Generally, majority of the committee subcommittee with the constitute with the quorum number of the members who present with the order of the committee to the report. However, the committee with the may vary with the number of the members necessary for the quorum of the certain actions. For example, a committee may fix the number of its members, but not less than two, and necessary for the quorum for the taking the testimony, receiving the evidence, except for the committee with the operation budget, ways and means. The committee may fix the number of its members, not less than 1/3, and necessary for the quorum taking certain for the other actions for the absent for the quorum subject for the point of order. The objection is the preceding violation of the rule of the committee of the House. If the committee may authorize chairman to postpone the votes in certain circumstances. Points of order with respect to the committee. Hearing procedure. Point order. House does not lie with respect to the measure reported with the committee on the grounds of hearing measure will be conducted in accordance with the required committee procedure. However, certain points of orders may be made with a member of the committee reported in the measure if in the committee of the hearing on that measure of the point of order 1 was timely made, 2 improperly disposed of, 7 reported bills. In the committee votes with the report of the bill, House with the committee with its staff of the rights committee on the report with the describe of the purpose and scope of the bill with the reason with the recommended approval with the generally section by section analysis set forth with the precisely each section is intended to accomplish all changes in the existing law with may indicate with the report with the text of the law with the being repealed but it must be set out with the requirement known as the Rasmer rule, a similar rule with the Senate known as the Corden rule. Committee amendments also may set out with the beginning of the report explanation of them are included. The executive communication regarding the bill may be referenced within the report. The time of the approval of the bill of the committee within the committee of the rules of the member of the committee give the notice for the intention of the file supplement with the minority additional to resolve of the member that until was not less than 2 additional calendar days after the day of such notice, excluding Saturday, Sunday with the legal holidays of the in-house in session on those days, gentlemen, which of those views of the clerk of the committee of those views of the timely file with the include of the report of the bill, committee must make a file of the will of the House and is in session unless with the anonymous consent with obtained with the House to file at a later time. Committees entitled with the automatic filing with a window with the view of the request of view of the report is assigned with the report with the number of opponents filing is sent with the government printing office. House of the representative give with the pre-designated index of the number of Congress of the, for example, the House report for the hearing with the 110th Congress 110-1. If the printed report with the committee amendment that indicated the showing of the new matter with the italics deleted with the matter with the line through with the title. Line 3 type of the report number is printed on the bill with the calendar known and show over the both of the first and back gauge of the bill. However, in this case, of the referred to with the 2 more committee's consideration sequence of the calendar number is printed only on the bill as reported with the last committee to be considered for the discussion of House Calendar Part 9 with the committee reporting perhaps the most valuable single element of the legislative history of the law of the use of the court of the executive of the Department of Public Source information regarding the purpose and meaning of the life. Content for the report committee measures include 1 with the committee oversight and with the finding of the recommendations, same with the request of the Congressional Budget Act of 1974, if the measure of the bill with the joint resolution provide with the new budget authority with the other than the continuing operations of an increase of the decrease of the revenue with the tax expenditure cost estimate comparison prepared with the Director of Congressional Budget Office and with its 4 statement of general performance of the goal of the objectives including outcome related goals and with the objective of which of the measure of the authorized fund with each of the report with accompanying with the bill and with the joint resolution relating with the employment acts of the public service over the accommodations must describe the manner in which provisions apply with the legislative branch. Each of these evidence set out with the separately clearly identified with the report with respect to each of the record of the vote with the total of the number of the votes cast off for the total number of votes against for the public measure for the measure of the amendment thereto with the names of these voting for and against for the must include with the committee with the report of the requirement does not apply certain votes for the taking with the committee the rule standard for the official conduct with addition with each of the report of the committee public bill with the public of the joint resolution must contain with the statement deciding with the specific power for the granted for the Congress. In the Constitution, an act of the law proposed with the bill of the Joint Resolution Committee reports of the company with the bill of the resolution contained with the federal unfunded with the mandates with it also required to include the estimate prepared with the Congressional Budget Office on the cost of the mandates in state, local, tribal governments and estimate not available at the time of the report filed with the committee with the required of the publisher's statement of the congressional record. Each report also contain an estimate must be made with the committee with the cost which incurred for the carrying out of the bill of the Joint Resolution fiscal year with the reported in each of the 5 fiscal year. Thereafter, for the duration of the program authorized less than 5 years, the report must include the comparison estimate with the cost with any estimated made government agencies submitted to the committee of the operation of the House of the Administration and the rules standard official conduct that are not required to include cost estimates of the report. Addition with the committee with the unowned cost estimate with the not required to include with the reports with the cost estimate prepared with the director of the Congressional Budget Office that has submitted prior to the filing of the report included in the report, and it is not the order to consider the bill for the joint resolution report of the committee. And the the report includes a list of the congressional earmarked last limited tax benefits, limited tariff benefits, and the bill for the in report will include with the name of the member to delegate with the resident commissioner submitted with the request of the committee for each respective item under the such list of the statement with the proposition contained with no congressional earmarks, limited tax benefits, with limited tariff benefits. Following reports, measurements of the review by the committee by the reported chairman and properly with the after of the approval of the majority of the members of the committee may file with the written request of the clerk of the committee with the reporting of the measure. When the request is filed with the clerk must identify with the notified with the chairman of the committee with the filing of the request report of the measure must be filed within 7 days, excluding the days over which the House is not in session after the day of which the request is filed. Does not apply with the report of the committee on the rules respective of the rule, joint rule, order, or business of the House of the reporting resolution inquiry addressed to the heads of the executive of the department availability of the reports and hearings. A measure of the matter reported by the committee over the except for the committee on the rules and case of the resolution providing with the rule of the joint with the rule order of business may not consider the House of until the third calendar day with exclude with the Saturday and Sunday with legal holiday with unless the House is in session on those days on which the report of the committee with the measure for the habit available to the member of the House of the rule subject for the certain exemption with including for the resolution provided with a certain privileged measure for the measuring with the declare of the war or other than the national emergency of the report of the committee on the rules of the rule of the joint rule order of business must lay over the legislative day with the prior consideration. However, is in order to consider the report of the committee on the rules on the same day with the reported purpose of the only to waive the availability requirement of the hearings will be held with the measure of the matter of the so report of the committee is required to make every reasonable effort to add to those of the hearing with the printing for the available the distribution of the measure of the House private the consideration of the members of the committee are also required to maximum extent feasible to make that publication available to the electronic form of the general operation bill reported with the committee on the operation may not be considered until the printed transcript of the committee hearing with the committee report thereon have been available to members of the House at least 3 calendar days excluding Saturday, Sunday with legal holidays unless of the House and within the session of those days. 8. Legislative oversight within by standing committees.